Welcome back, Wolfpack. Vrelis here, and I don't really know how to start off this battle because I know Carson, he's an awesome guy. We battled on the Battle Gauntlet. He's a huge supporter of mine. He's a mod in Twitch. He does crazy arts in Twitter. He's a local of Seattle as well. This is cool. Also, his strategies are pretty off the wall, and his battle style is pretty awesome. It's similar to mine, and this is going to be very enjoyable to watch. So, looks like we have Togekiss Cinccino. I can imagine Scarf Kiss with Kingshawk Cinccino for the ultimate lockdown. We also have Ambipom, and we also have that Sableye. So how's that going to do against the Amoonguss and the dragon Pokemon thing? Hydreigon. Alright, so that's going to be a switch out right there, and straight into the Intimidate from the Landorus. So that isn't going to bother Togekiss too much. That still could be a problem for the Cinccino. So Air Slash going to be a good amount of damage right there, and Rock Blast. So really went for the huge focus onto the Hydreigon, and now we're going to see if Amoonguss gets away with anything, because that's a free Spore right there. So maybe not too much to worry about that. So there's going to be a Spore from the Amoonguss. That's going to land onto Togekiss. So now again, decisions do have to be made at this rate. So Rage Powder. So now Amoonguss is going to switch it up. Rage Powder is going to soak in some damage, and it means that nothing is really going to happen from the Super Flinch crew right here. And Rock Slide does a huge amount of damage onto Togekiss and Cinccino. Double crit! That's where all that damage come from. My goodness. Super hacks right there. And then we get the flinch as well on Cinccino. So that's going to be a double KO turnaround. If there wasn't battle recordings, people wouldn't believe this. But I mean, that's literally about as worse as luck can get. And then there was another Spore from the Amoonguss. So Ambipom comes in with the Sableye to try to save this one. Well, it looks like, we can't have the Fake Out, which is going to help out. Landorus ends up switching, and that's going to give Sableye a free potential to set up. And Hydreigon comes back in. So that's going to be Mega Sableye. Well, at least one Pokemon can't be Spored. It's going to be Sableye versus the world at this rate. And Landorus is already a bit low. Ambipom going to Fake Out onto the Hydreigon. So the opponent using switches quite a lot to his advantage. And the Sableye is going to get the Calm Mind. So at least we're getting set up against the Hydreigon. I could expect a Spore hitting Ambipom though. So this could get interesting. Yeah, and then some Spore. So he aimed it at Sableye. Guess not respecting the Mega. And then he's going to use Rage Powder the next turn. I mean, even then, Rage Powder still super threatens Amoonguss, because Last Resort is going to be huge damage right there. And Last Resort, yeah, it's going to be good. Effect Spore ends up putting Ambipom to sleep anyway. So yeah, let's scratch that. The luck is now about as bad as it can get, even more so. So there's going to be a Dark Pulse from the Hydreigon. That's going to probably finish up Ambipom. Ambipom is not really a durable Pokemon. And now it's Sableye. Sableye's getting those Calm Minds. He understands where the win condition is. So Hydreigon, if it is a choice to Hydreigon, it's locked in that Dark Pulse, so it's not going to be able to do too much. If it uses Draco Meteor, should be able to survive that Draco Meteor. Amoonguss can't really do anything to it. It's really there for like Giga Drain, Rage Powder, Spore. So that's not going to do much. Berry Unnerve doesn't apply too much either. So Dark Pulse is going to hit Amoonguss, and it is going to be enough damage to knock out the Amoonguss at that +2. And that's pretty good, anticipating the switch out from Hydreigon. So Landorus comes in, and it's kind of going to be really figuring out who to deal with this. So Landorus is going to Earthquake. That's going to be a nice little stab hit. Aerodactyl is going to be able to dodge that one out. And Aerodactyl went for the Sky Drop, so he is going to soak up Sableye and remove his attack for this turn. So that's going to be a free switch from the Landorus, but you are removing that damage threat as well. So goes into the Hydreigon. Now with all those plus defenses, Sableye is going to be good against the Hydreigon. Takes a little bit of damage from the Sky Drop and goes for that Recover. So all those hits kind of didn't matter. And really, if Sableye can get a burn on any of the two Pokemon, he's going to be set up. Well, Landorus or Aerodactyl, because that's going to remove a lot of threat. And I'd imagine Dark Pulse isn't going to be doing too much to Sableye. So yeah, there's the Will-O-Wisp. That's going to land onto Aerodactyl. And from that, Stone Edge isn't going to be doing enough damage if it lands. And Dark Pulse, as we saw, because that +2 isn't really doing too much either. So Stone Edge going to land once again. But that's not going to be enough damage with that Dark Pulse. So unless there's an unfortunate crit, Sableye could very really have this one. So Recover, going to gain more health than lost. And until Sableye runs out of Recover, you know, everything's looking pretty good. So Aerodactyl's going down to burn. All other Pokemon have a little bit of damage on it. If a Stone Edge misses, which is somewhat likely, 20% chance to miss. There's the Draco Meteor. So Hydreigon, he's going out for that Draco Meteor. Didn't get that last hurrah right there. Special attack is dropped, so he's going to be forced to switch out. And Sableye just playing it safe, waiting for something to miss, hiding up behind that recover. And that's Hydreigon taking burn damage as well. So there's going to be a withdrawal from the Aerodactyl. Going to bring in the big guns right there to try to land as much damage as possible from that Landorus. Intimidate, really not affecting Sableye at all. Dark Pulse, switching back over to the Dark Pulse. Try to get some damage, but that's going to do even less now. Sableye does get flinched by the Dark Pulse. So all those switching turns really didn't become anything, and Landorus is going to U-turn. The opponent's getting sneaky right there. Because I guess, you know, oh, if it's Landorus, I need to get that thing burned as soon as possible. So maybe trying to fake out that burn. Dark Pulse going to land again onto Sableye, and Sableye's going for that recover. Everything's just kind of stalling out right now, but damage is being done through that burn. So I mean, once Aerodactyl's done, or once Aerodactyl's gone, the game's kind of over. So if a Stone Edge misses, that's going to be a free... Actually, even then, Stone Edge wasn't doing a lot. So you can also try to take that risk, just use the Dark Pulse on Aerodactyl, finish it off. Once you burn Landorus, the game is going to be over. Because then Landorus goes down to burn, he has no damage to deal. You burn the Hydreigon, you hit it with a Dark Pulse, and this is why Sableye's awesome. He's just going to go in 1v4 and finish off everything along its way. So Intimidate, that's a thing. Skydrop. So he's going back to the Skydrop. I feel like the Skydrop doesn't really work out too much because you're just, yeah, you're stalling out on the burn. You're making it to where you're not doing damage. It's only free switches. I don't even know what the opponent is trying to do. I think this is when you like get way too into the meta and you're like, oh, if I switch, I'll outplay my opponent. And it's really not accomplishing anything. So that's going to be Dark Pulse onto... Well, he did get the fake out, so the double switch, while not leading to any damage, does like just make it to where Hydreigon gets hit instead of Landorus. So now there's just a lot of weird switches and Skydrops. I don't really think it's leading into anything. Might just be for timer stall? I don't know. So that's going to be Skydrop. Sableye gets freed from the Skydrop. There's going to be Dark Pulse from the Hydreigon. But I mean, if you play up the damage just right, you Dark Pulse the Hydreigon anyways. Hydreigon goes down? Yeah, Hydreigon goes down to the Dark Pulse. Then Aerodactyl goes down to the burn. And by just understanding that, you just recover for safety. You burn the Landorus, and then you win. Or you just Dark Pulse Landorus and win. I'd do that, never mind. You don't even play it up that long. Dark Pulse doesn't have a problem, so that's going to be Earthquake. We already saw that that isn't enough to do 89 damage. Boom. Sableye gets the Dark Pulse, and that's going to be game. So that's how boss Sableye is. Coming back from a double... Well, first, Rock Slide landed on 2 opponents, so I mean, that's a little bit of luck right there, because, you know, Rock Slide doesn't have perfect accuracy. Then it double crits, and it flinches the one Pokemon that isn't awake. I wanted to see Togekiss and Chino go to town, because that seems like a pretty scary combo right there, but then Sableye. The opponent just couldn't deal with Sableye. Sableye's like, if I call mine, I might have a chance, and it ends up paying off. That was a huge battle. Great job, Carson. Hope you guys enjoyed that battle. We have more Fan Fridays coming up.